Hmm. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Um, Happy Wednesday. Today is day 26 of our live 28-day gratitude practice. So after today, we got 2 days left, y'all. 2 days left, and I'm still not sure what practice to do next. So, like I've said before, if y'all have any suggestions, let me know, and I'll take it into consideration. Yeah, we're gonna be done on Friday. It's gonna be our last day. And then I think I'll do one additional video just to kind of review and see if folks got questions or anything like that. Um, yes, yes. Um, so if you've never been to my channel before, please be sure to become a subscriber. There is tons of content available here on my channel, even beyond this 28-day gratitude practice. Um, it's never too early. It's never too late to hit the thumbs up button. Give me a like for my video. If you're here and you're viewing, hit that thumbs up button and be sure to share this information with family, with friends, share it on your social media, share it through text message, share it through email. There's so many different ways to share information these days. So when we come across, hopefully, what we find to be good, positive things, we share them. We share them. I think the more light, the more love we can have, especially in these times, the better off we'll all be. So, if you're wondering what is this live 28-day gratitude practice, it's actually pretty simple. Every day I read a chapter aloud to you all from Rhonda Byrne's The Magic. Rhonda Burns also wrote The Secret. And this is a practice that I was introduced to back in 2016. And I do this practice at least once a year. Probably on average, I do this practice actually twice a year. And I've just found it to be an incredibly powerful practice, not only to help me to manifest the life that I want or help me to manifest various desires, but also just a really good practice in helping me to maintain a high vibration, or get to a high vibration because I'm not always vibrating high. So, this is one tool that I use to help me um, elevate my vibration when I need it. So, yo, I'm always curious, what are these dots down here at the bottom? And I'm worried right now because none of them are lit up. Usually I'll see one of these dots down here at the bottom lit up. So I really want to make sure y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me out there? I see that there is one person who views. I always got at least one person viewing. And I don't know if that's a YouTube robot or what that is, but if that is an actual person, thank you for your diligence in following along with me in this practice. Um, uh, yeah. So I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. I'm just gonna assume that you can. So did I say what I do this show? So I read this practice aloud to you all every single day. I didn't finish saying. So I read a chapter from Rhonda Byrne's The Magic every single day. If you are interested in getting a copy of this book, it is widely available. You can get it through pretty much any outlet that sells books. Um, um, if you're interested, I also have a digital copy of this book that I'm happy to share with folks. All you got to do is shoot me your email address and I'll send it over to you as quickly as I can. And I always think it's a good idea to build your library so you can have different tools that you can access for various different things that you may want to do in your experience. So, The Magic, this is an amazing, incredible book and practice. So, this is what we do every day. So, the way that this practice is designed, you don't necessarily need a copy of this book, I make all of the live videos available after I finish streaming them. And so you can follow along at your own pace. I do recommend starting at the very, very beginning with this practice. So even before day one, there's a prep video that's super important because you want to get something out of focusing for 28 days. Um, I mean, you'll definitely get an elevated emotional experience. But wouldn't it be dope to get to manifest some other things out of this practice? So that's really the intention of the prep piece of it. Is it helps you to outline and identify some things that you like to have, see, or experience. So the prep video is super duper important, y'all. So I recommend starting from there and then every single day doing the next step or the next video for whatever day it is that you're on. So yeah, that's what this live 28-day gratitude practice is about. Um, One of the things that we do every single day as part of this practice is we write out 10 gratitudes in our gratitude journals. And we also write why we're grateful for whatever those things are. And so what I do is I write mine out before I get on to stream the practice for the day. And then I share with you all a few of my gratitudes, just so you know I'm following along with you. I'm here, I'm doing the practice, and present. So, my theme this morning was people that I'm grateful for having helped me to learn something. Um, and yeah, yeah, that's what my theme was. I like to do themes for mine because it helps me to like focus my brain on like where I'm at. Sometimes it can be hard, and I like to challenge myself to think of new gratitudes every single day. And so here we are at day 26. By now, I've written out at least 260 gratitudes, and all of them are unique. And I think for me, it's important to do it that way because it challenges me to really be present with all the good in my life, and there's a ton of it. So, yeah, so having a theme for the day helps me to just focus. So, like I said, my theme today was people who have helped me to learn different things. So, I'm thankful for Robert because he partners with me on film projects, and he's just dope to work with. So Robert is like my film producer, and I just really like working with Robert. He's an interesting um, personality, and I like learning about Robert, but I also like learning about what he knows about film and kind of being able to glean off of that. And he's just a dope personality to work with. So he and I agreed to work together and partner on projects for my own business. And then out of that came a partnership where he was like, all right, well, you'll come and be my stylist for various, videos and things that he does and different projects. So when he needs some styling done, he calls Nikki. So I enjoy working with Robert. I enjoy our partnership. So I'm thankful for Robert. I am grateful for Marvin because he taught me bookkeeping. Marvin was really one of the first people to take me under his wing and really teach me a very valuable skill set. And that skill set has lent itself to greater and larger aspects of, the financial sphere. But it was definitely learning bookkeeping was definitely my springboard to becoming a financial consultant, which is part of the work that I do now. So I'm very, very thankful for Marvin because what he taught me was really invaluable. Who else am I grateful for? Mm, 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 I'm thankful for Dolly because she taught me unconditional love. Dolly is my my baby girl. I'm grateful for Sanford because he teaches me the value of unconditional sharing. And I actually have Sanford on my list twice today, as well as I've been grateful for him throughout this practice. But Sanford is the CEO of the company, the FDC that I do consulting for. And just a dope person to have a relationship with. But he has taught me so much. I came to Sanford kind of knowing like this much, and he has helped me to expand my knowledge and understanding, especially around finances. He's blown it up tremendously just through an incredible sense of encouragement, a very deep understanding of the importance of sharing. I've never met anybody who shares so much and so unconditionally. And that has inspired me immensely, 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 immensely. But he's also taught me the value of it. He's shown me what sharing can do for my own life, not just for the lives of the people that I share with. So that has been an incredibly invaluable tool and experience for me. So let me go ahead and jump into the chapter for today, our practice or exercise for today. And I'm excited about this one. I can't remember exactly what this practice is yet, but I know it's a good one. Day 26, magically transform mistakes into blessings. If y'all want to see the picture, it's just some magic coming out of the clouds. All right. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Oprah Winfrey, born 1954, media personality and businesswoman. We know who Oprah is. Let me just turn up my ringer. All right. Every single mistake is a blessing in disguise. Today's magical practice will prove it because you're about to discover that there are actually untold blessings hidden within every mistake. A child makes many mistakes while learning how to ride a bike or write, and we don't give it a second thought because we know that through their mistakes, they will learn and eventually master what they're trying to do. So, why is it that adults are so hard on themselves when they make a mistake? The same rule that applies to children also applies to you. We all make mistakes, and if we didn't make them, we'd never learn anything, and we wouldn't grow any smarter or any wiser. We have the freedom to make our own choices, and that means we have the freedom to make mistakes. Mistakes can hurt, but if we don't learn from the mistakes we've made, the pain we've suffered from it has been for nothing. In fact, by the law of attraction, we will make the same mistake over and over again until the consequences hurt us so much that we finally learn from it. It's the very reason why mistakes hurt, so that we do learn from them and don't make them repeatedly. To learn from a mistake, we first have to own it. And this is where many people can become undone because they often blame someone else for their mistake. Let's consider the scenario of being pulled over by the police for speeding and being given a speeding ticket. Instead of taking responsibility for the fact that we were speeding, we blamed the police because they were hiding in the bushes on the highway around the bend. We couldn't see them, they had a radar gun, and so we didn't stand a chance. But the mistake was ours because we were the one who chose to speed. The problem with blaming other people for our mistake is that we will still suffer the pain and consequences of our mistake, but we didn't learn from it. And so, bingo, we'll attract making the same mistake again. You are human, you will make mistakes, and it's one of the most beautiful things about being human. But you must learn from your mistakes. Otherwise, your life will have a lot of unnecessary pain. How do you learn from a mistake? Gratitude. No matter how bad something may seem, there are always many things to be grateful for. When you look for as many things as you can to be grateful for in the mistake, you magically transform the mistake into a blessing. Mistakes attract more mistakes, and blessings attract more blessings. Which would you prefer? Today, think about a mistake you have made in your life. It doesn't matter whether it was a big or small mistake, but choose one that still hurts when you think about it. Maybe you lost your temper with a person close to you and the relationship hasn't been the same since. Maybe you put blind faith in another person and got burned. Maybe you told a white lie to protect someone, and because of it, you ended up in a difficult situation. You might have chosen the cheaper option on something, and it all went wrong and ended up costing you a whole lot more. You might have thought you were making the right decision about something, but it completely backfired on you. Once you've chosen a mistake to magically transform into blessings, look for the things to be grateful for. To help you, there are two questions you can ask yourself. One, what did I learn from the mistake? Two, what are the good things that came out of the mistake? The most important thing to be grateful for about every mistake are the things you learned from it. And no matter what the mistake, there are always many good things that came out of it and altered your future for the better. Think this through very carefully and see if you can find a total of 10 blessings to be grateful for. Every blessing you find has magical power. Write out your list in a gratitude journal or type them on a computer. Let's take the example of being caught speeding by a police car and receiving a fine. One, I'm grateful to the police for wanting to protect me from harming myself because, after all, that was all they were trying to do. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I don't like her examples. I don't like her examples. I I don't know how many people can actually like relate to like really feeling like the police are protecting them. And I'm not saying that that is not what they're doing sometimes. I just feel like she could have picked a way better example. And furthermore, I feel like she could have dug quite a bit deeper with that. But that's just my opinion. Two, I'm grateful to the police because if I am honest with myself, I was thinking about other things and I wasn't concentrating on the road. Three, I'm grateful to the police because it was foolish to put myself at risk speeding with a tire that needed to be replaced. Four, I'm grateful to the police for the wake up call. Being pulled over did affect me and it will make me watch my speed and drive more carefully in the future. Five, I'm grateful to the police because somehow I had a wild idea that I could speed without getting caught and without putting myself in danger. The seriousness of the police made me face up to the fact that I was putting both myself and others in serious danger. Number six, I'm grateful to the police because I think about my own family being put in danger by other speeding drivers, then I definitely want the police to stop speeding drivers. Seven, I'm really grateful to the police for the work they do in trying to ensure the safety of every person and family on the roads. Eight, I'm grateful to the police. They must see heartbreaking situations every day, and all they're trying to do is protect my life and my family's life. I just really don't agree with just really like straight up we know that police have a quota for issuing tickets. So it's not all they're trying to do is protect people, they're also trying to meet their quotas. I was like she could have chosen a way better example, a way better example. But okay, this is what she chose. Um Number nine, I'm grateful to the police for making sure that I arrived home safely and walked through the door to my family as I usually do. And number 10, I'm grateful to the police because of all the possible consequences that could have stopped me from my speeding. The police pulling me over was the least harmful consequence, and it could have been the biggest blessing of my life. But I do agree with her that we should seek to find the blessings in all of our mistakes. So yeah, if you got pulled over by the police, it's a good idea to find a blessing in that. She just shouldn't have used that as her example. But anyway, I digress. I would strongly urge you to take any mistakes you've made in your life and that you still feel bad about, and in your own time, follow this magnificent and magical practice. Think about it. Through one mistake, you have the power to bring many blessings. What else guarantees dividends like that? I already know what I'm gonna write my gratitudes. What mistake I'm gonna turn into a blessing. Um, and it's gonna be a lot deeper than a speeding ticket. But I think this is a really powerful practice because it's a trip. I've been dealing personally with some negative mental chatter, and even before getting into the practice for today, I had been thinking about, like, I think we all have those experiences that kind of plague us, and when we think about them, they make us feel like, ooh, we cringe. And I personally have been dealing with one such experience that honestly I've been dealing with for months. And so to be here and be challenged today to do this particular practice of finding the blessing in, you know, something that makes me feel that way, is of particular importance and blessing to me today. I need this practice. So, yeah, let's go ahead. Before I jump into the review for today's practice, I just want to remind everybody of the joint or shared wish that I'm hoping we can all partner on and collectively put some magic juice onto. And that one collective wish is very, very simple. It is, I am thankful for the swift and peaceful. What is it? I am thankful for the swift. Oh, there it is. There go my gratitude. I got them up on my wall, y'all, by my TV. Um, and it's kind of far away. um, Thank you for the peaceful. Let me go look at this real quick, y'all. Okay, here it is. Thank you for the swift and peaceful elevation of public health and return to daily activity. Um, and I'm just hoping we can all share in on that. I know we are all looking forward to outside opening back up. And so the more quickly, I believe there's been a blessing even in this though. And maybe that's another challenge, is to find the blessings in this whole shelter in place and coronavirus and all of that stuff. Yeah, maybe we could all do that one. We could share some gratitudes and some jewels that we have found hidden in this entire experience. But yeah, I'm hoping we can all share in on that one wish. So let's go ahead and do the review for magic practice number 6. Magically transform mistakes into blessings. Number 1, count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you're grateful. Reread your list, and at the end of each blessing, say thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel as grateful for that blessing as you can. Number 2, choose one mistake you made in your life. Number 3, find a total of 10 blessings you're grateful for as a result of making that mistake and write them down. Number 4, to help you find blessings, you can ask yourself the questions: what did I learn from the mistake? And what are the good things that came out of the mistake? Number 5, just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words, thank you, for the best thing that happened during the day. Okay, so my spirit is leading me to say, like, well, what do you mean by, she could have chosen a deeper um, example, right? Because for me, it's like, I want I want this practice to be like real for people. Like, you know, people are having real and very serious um experiences, and things that they need healing around that are far more serious than a freaking traffic ticket, right? So let's deal with those things, you know? And so um, when I think about friends and family and my own experiences, and I think about the real things that people are plagued by, I just want to remind us all, or even suggest, like, use this practice for the things that really are important to you. Use this practice to address the things that are really, really painful, right? Especially like around matters of the heart, right? I think a lot of time, many of us, we've all been heartbroken before. We've all been, you know, burdened and saddened by like real life mistakes that we've made, right? And I think that what Rhonda Byrne is talking about in this chapter is nonetheless applicable to those heavy things, right? Um, and so I want to challenge us to find the blessings in those heavier conversations and those heavier topics, right? You know, for example, matters of the heart, right? Things that are painful to our experiences. You know, I was talking with a sister the other day, and she was talking to me about how, you know, she's concerned about her daughter who recently is an adult, you know, so she's out, you know, living her life and she's doing some things that her mother doesn't agree with. And her mother doesn't agree with her lifestyle, and she's, you know, concerned about her. And, you know, what if this happens? And, you know, what if she makes this mistake? And what if that? And what if that? And, you know, I listened. And one thing that I try to be super duper careful about is being impressioned by other people's fears and doubt, right? And so I'm very careful when I find myself in conversations with people, and those conversations are very heavily weighted by fear and or doubt, because those things is contagious, right? And so one thing that I've discovered in my journey to enlightenment and becoming this greater, fuller version of myself, in my studies, people often recommend not participating in those kinds of conversations. Um, but one thing I know to be true about me is I am an agent of healing and change. And so people are often attracted to me for that reason, because they want to talk to me about that type of stuff. People tend to feel very um, open toward me, and like people tell me like secrets, and, you know, very readily and very easily. And so I've had to learn, how do I balance that? Because if I am a healer, then part of my job is to deal with people's pain, right? And so I've learned to use certain techniques to kind of shield me from the contagiousness of whatever it is that folks are dealing with. And sometimes me, sometimes I'm the one dealing with the fear, and sometimes I'm the one dealing with the doubt, right? But I've had to learn certain techniques to kind of shield me um, from those things when I'm dealing with it and other people. So I've had to, for me, it's not about not participating in those conversations. It's about participating in them in a conscious way, if you will. And so I listened, and, you know, what I offered at the end was, you know, one, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust that you've given her everything, every tool that she needs to navigate life as an adult. And she is an adult now. So you basically don't have a choice but to sit back and watch and be patient and wait. Um, but furthermore, I think the journey for us as parents, right, there's this shift that happens when your children become adults, and you don't stop being their parent. You just become their parent in a different way when your children become adults. And that's my speculation, and I'm speaking from experience as a child becoming an adult because I don't have an adult child yet. But this is just my inclination toward what I think to be true, right? And so we shift, our roles shift as parents and how to parent, right? And so I just reminded her, children make mistakes, but not only do children make mistakes, adults make mistakes. And this is something that I'm very transparent about with my daughter all the time, because she'll even say things to me like, but I'm messed up and I did this wrong. And I'm like, yeah, and you're gonna keep doing stuff wrong, and that's okay. Life is about learning and growing, and we are constantly doing that. We don't stop learning, right? We don't hopefully we don't stop being teachable when we become adults. I plan to continue learning and growing until I die. There's no limit, there's no age limit on that. And so making mistakes is simply a part of the journey, you know. And we have to get away from this idea that, now that I'm an adult, I don't make mistakes anymore, because that actually becomes this crazy burden that we carry around. But and it becomes a burden because we genuinely start to believe that we're not allowed to make mistakes anymore as adults, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. And so we still remain prone to mistakes because we're constantly growing, and we're constantly learning, and hopefully identifying new heights that we want to reach throughout our lives. And so, yeah, uh, the more we can find the blessings and the beauty in our mistakes, I think the greater our capacity to grow. And she's right. Rhonda Byrne is right. When we stop learning and we stop taking responsibility for our mistakes, and therefore we start blaming other people for why this happened or why that happened, that's actually the thing that stunts and prevents our growth. Um, so yeah, take heart in this growing process. All of us, we are still babies down here, and who knows how many more lifetimes we have to go. But this whole entire experience is a journey of learning and of growth. Um, the practice that I'm going to use this practice today on something on a mistake that I made recently. And it is a mistake that has been challenging me in a number of ways, but something I realized recently was there was actually much beauty to be discovered in that mistake. That particular mistake, and I'm grateful for it. That particular mistake has also led me to a greater vision of what I would like for my own life and my experience. So yeah, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna do my practice. I'm gonna stay sitting here and finish up my practice for today. But all that said, family, I hope you all have a magical, amazing, wonderful, fantastic day. And be sure to share this video with family, with friends, share it on your social media, share it any way that you like to share information. And if you can get folks to in on this practice with you, the better, because it allows you to amass even more energy around your goals, desires, wishes, and ambition. So have a magical day, family, and I will see you all tomorrow for next day 27 of our 28-day gratitude practice. Peace.